but there was like no crazy volume or anything.
Mm. Yeah, we had a lot of news here.
Yeah, I was only looking forward to see what the GDP numbers was going to be.
Yeah.
Because the ones that they release first is the first estimate.
Mm.
I think it's the ones that actually have more effect in the pair. Where the second one they post, I think after 45 days, is just like a correction, the accurate number.
Mm.
Obviously, the estimate have already, taken place, and most people rely on that because it's like a quarterly numbers. So.
Yes.
And no surprise that the numbers been good because obviously then like the vaccine has been doing so good with the economy. It's just like almost it becomes like a joke really because it's really hard to believe that only one thing can improve the whole economy.
Yeah, that's true.
It helped the interest rates to stay the same,
Mm.
and I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah, man. 100%. Right. Let me just put a little message here. I'll just go back in 10 minutes. Morning, everyone. I'll be back in literally like 10 minutes. Bear with me. Sorry, I've had a really busy morning. Wasn't expecting to start the stream late, but yeah, so we're just kind of waiting here because we need to wait for price to break above 144.860 because yesterday we rejected this area. You could take buys within this range. Yeah, there was an opportunity at like 7:30 a.m. But to be honest with you, if you want to have a high probability, high win rate, then you may want to just wait for this area to break because in this range it just becomes very, very difficult. But even if we do break above, I mean, we're looking at quite big stops over here, so it might be a no trading day for me. But we'll see. Right, give me 10 minutes. I'll be back. I'll be back by the time this candle closes. If it doesn't run all the way up to 145. All right, bear with me. If anybody asks, just tell them that I'm. Morning, Kelsey.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, good.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Literally, bear with me 10 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Kelsey.
You're right, Salim.
Yeah.
Yeah, good man.
Nice one.
Not trading today though. Just going to do some back testing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, like I was talking to Harrison about the GDP numbers this morning.
Oh yeah.
Being like good numbers. We didn't really see anything crazy. I mean,
They've already been announced. Yeah. See that? You looking at anything today?
well, I was eyeing yesterday gold, but I got stopped out at break even.
All right. When did you get in?
I got in at 18.22.79.
Oh, was it during Asian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like my target was 18.19. I got stopped out.
Yeah, I see that pull back and then it dropped.
Yeah, but to be fair, like there was a lot of lack of volume. Lack of volume was massive. Like hardly no wicks at all. Like no volume. Usually, when you get to the Asian session, you see like massive fluctuations, but there was none. And again, it is what it is. But there's two things that could have made the price, reject to retest again. Is the if you look on the 15-minute we on gold there was a wick rejection, and it was a 15 minute. It closed bullish, so that could have created the problem to like have that pullback, but it wasn't as big as I thought, like the pullback.
Oh yeah, I see that wick. Yeah, it seems like that area it didn't really like.
Yeah, if it closed like bearish, like with that rejection but closed bearish, I wouldn't really worry as much. I would have kept the position open, and I wouldn't have got it like at a break even. But I was just worried about a pullback and just a continuation to the upside. So that's why but then I didn't decide to have another entry because it's just been like a lot like a volume. So
like with time anyway, you'll know how to like when to hold and when to like put your stops at break even a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I don't really like, especially on gold. Like, I don't like hold position for too long because gold is very volatile. You want like a 20 pip, 30 pip within 15-minute candle. No maximum than that. Any more than that, you just slaughtering yourself because it's just really hard to just watch gold moving slow, and it's very volatile. So you just want to be in and out in a way.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like you can't go wrong putting your stops at break even anyway, can you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was saying to Kelsey, what I was saying to Harrison is, it's surprising to say like numbers. I mean, I've expected them to be like to stay the same, but obviously there wasn't a massive difference between staying the same and so it was expecting 0.5%, and numbers were 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm not surprised because obviously when you look back and see the interest rates, how they kept the same, and how Andrew Bailey was speaking about how the economy is doing well, it just gives you a hint that the GDP could be the same or could be even better, but it can't be worse, you know. So yeah.
Do you reckon that's why we saw that little push just now, the last hour or so?
Yeah. What are like your zones?
What are my zones?
Yeah, like what's the like when you're thinking to take buys or sells?
To be honest, I think safer buys above 145, especially on Friday. But I suppose if you get above the 860 level, there could be opportunities there if you want to be a bit more riskier. And then for sells, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a bit choppy on the 30-minute.
Yeah, well, the thing is when it's choppy, I'm never looking at the 30-minute. I always look at the 1 hour break. But I've got my level. Say that again. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, I think once we break out either side, it's gonna go quite fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a big range. Like we've been ranging for quite some times now.
I mean, even yesterday in London, we were waiting for it to break above 860. So
yeah, that was crazy. I've got my level. I've got my buys above 145 or 20, and reason why I haven't got it higher than that is because yesterday we made the high at 145.020. So obviously, if we break and close above the daily, and we respect on the 30-minute, we respect the previous, range, then I think we should have a continuation to the upside. For sells, I've got on close below 144.580, and I know like obviously the price went down below 144.580 and it closed below, but just because I put it at that level doesn't mean I would take a trade. I need to see that like in a good volume time,
Yeah, like you
We
want to see
have
what
it, like,
happens.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, say like as you can see, it was less volume. We've had the 30. I'm looking at the 1 hour. We've had the 1 hour closing bearish, and then it was just like hardly no volume at all over the Asian session, and then it just pulled back into the range. So that's why it's really important to like trade when there is volume.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Have to wait and see. I think. Hopefully, we get a move.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dailies are still closing bullish now. And yeah, today we've come down, broke the low, and now we're starting to head up. So if we break the high, maybe that could be the start of the move.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, like it's at the level where you just want to see some bearish momentum. What I personally like to see is I would like to see like a bearish weekly candle, and because obviously then you'll have like some sort of retracement, a strong support created on the high time frame on the daily candle. Because then, like, let's say, because we've got some clean ranges below 143,960, which is below where we've had the interest rates, the big move that we've had. So I'd like to see some sort of retracement at least to 143 to 290, where we created support on the daily. That was a strong support. Maybe to retest that level and then to have a continuation to the upside, because we've just been having like way too much bullish momentum, and to say like all of this bullish momentum just coming from the vaccine rollout, I mean, it's really hard to believe that.
Yeah, it's tough because like you're thinking that it's overextended, and at the same time you're trying to just play what you see.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think a pullback to that 143,300 level could be good, if especially on the weekly. Like if we can just pull back, have a few bearish weekly candles start forming support, then it would be a lot more easier to predict the buys.
Yeah, 100%.
I suppose though, if we still keep closing above, like if this week we get a close above 144,600, then I mean next week we could probably head up to like 145,700, 145,800, because we're still breaking like areas where there's wicks coming into, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe like we get into time where we definitely should start seeing the bullish momentum, because like the vaccine's doing well, and the we may be getting closer to like come out of the lockdown, because I think the numbers are getting lower, the death rate. And then when you look on the high time frame, you can see that on the daily. Is it on the daily? Let's have a look. Yeah, from last year. So if you look on the weekly, we've had that massive bearish candle, which is, I think it was when the pandemic was hitting the UK.
Yeah, it was around then. Feb.
Yeah, so obviously now, like, this is mirroring the situation. Like we're in the same time as last year, where we're just seeing that rejection. But now, obviously, we should be seeing improvement since the vaccinating more people, because obviously that they think that's good for the economy. That means more people getting vaccinated, and more people will be able to go out and will be able to travel. And
yeah, it's interesting. It seems like we've taken nearly a year to get back to where we previously were.
Yep. But again, looking at it, like we've had the Brexit news that have done a lot of like heavy lifting on the pound, because we made the high around 143 during the summer, I remember, and we've had like a strong rejection all the way down to 136, I think, and then we kept ranging between 136 to 139, and then again rejection every time the news comes out about the Brexit. We just see like a lot of volume and rejections. But then as soon as we had the Brexit deal by the end of December, then that's where the bullish momentum started. Obviously, we had a retest again to 140, and then obviously we just had a nice continuation to the upside.
Yo, yo. Right. Can people hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Alright, perfect. So yeah, just kind of waiting here. Morning, everyone on the YouTube. Sorry about that. So yeah, I mean, so obviously when I came to the charts this morning, yes, okay, so basically as we look, there was an opportunity, but it was something that I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend a trader to do so. So basically, obviously, we know that we had a move down in the Asian session last night, which got corrected. We came back in this range and we created support at 7 a.m. So that's pretty good. Price did continue moving up to this resistance, but come on, man. Anybody trying to take a trade in this range, it's a Friday and you're trying to take a trade in this range? Nah, I think that's way too, I think it's a bit, yeah, don't agree with that. So that's why the only trade I'm willing to take today is if we get buys above 144.860. That's it, because at the end of the day, we rejected this area pretty hard. We have resistance here, we have resistance over here, so why take buys in this range? I mean, I don't think it made any sense for anyone to do so, but I know there would have been certain that did. But yeah, there you go. So just kind of waiting here. Gonna have to wait to see price break and close above 144.860, and then we can anticipate that 145 should be reached. Because if we take a look at the daily, now it's starting to make more sense. Did a little liquidity grab here because we had a weak bullish candle, and if this daily candle can break the high, then we're coming up to 145 and then maybe even further on. Because look at the weekly. The last day of the weekly candle, we was anticipating 145.700, maybe even, that's a little bit too high of a target. But if we look on the daily, I mean, we could definitely reach 145.500, 145.020 again. So yeah, honestly, I don't know why. Yeah, so this is definitely a no trade range for me. But there was one opportunity, like I said, was once we created support, but it was just, I personally like if this was a Wednesday, I would be like, okay, yeah, fair enough. But this is a Friday and you're trying to take a trade in the range, man, that's just dumb shit right there. Extremely delicate situation right here. That's very true. It is extremely delicate because taking buys in this range, there's so much mess. It's not clean. It's just a range, it could come back down to support, and it's just, yeah, dumb shit. 50-50 chance. Morning. Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, man. Hopefully you get a good trade today for your birthday. How old are you today? So yeah, so while we're waiting on GJ, oh, I forgot to do something. Shit. Why does it... Man, every morning, right, I have to go onto YouTube and make sure that monetized is on. But why won't it just do it automatically instead of making me have to come on and do it every morning? Okay. Let's start off with gold here. Oh, gold's moving down. Pre-London. Wow, look at gold sales playing out. Right. Let's do some fresh analysis. Let's start off here with the weekly. 23. Oh, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Awesome. More life, as we say in London. So yeah, so looking at the weekly on gold, I mean, seems like this move up was a liquidity grab, right? Because if this weekly candle on Friday, we have some volume, then wow, we could continue down to this weekly support and fill this wick. But I mean, do we have the volume? We're not really sure. Looking on the daily, if this daily candle can still continue moving down, then yeah, I mean, we have this support to reach. And knowing gold, gold can move a lot. So we are definitely looking at this support as a target. Looking on the 4 hour. Now looking on the 4 hour, we are approaching a support. So this is where things get a little bit more tricky, but in theory we're at support. And then once we break that support, we have another support down over here, and then we have our daily support area. So obviously we've got clean candles on the daily, but we have a couple of zones here on the 4 hour that need to be broken. 1 hour time frame. So looking on the 1 hour, this is where we have to neaten up our zones even further. We have a support over here. Oh, I hate it when it does that. I just want a nice clean zone. Yeah, there we go. Oh no. Oh, there we go. So we got a nice support over here on the 1 hour time frame. It's kind of like, how many pips away? It's like another 50 pips away. And then from this area, we have a nice, beautiful, clean range for like, oh, it's like 95 pips, all the way down to 1800. 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it's kind of like the same. It's kind of like the same. Got this support over here. But we're in this range right now because we had a resistance over here, which is where we created like a minor support, and now we're coming down to this range. So if we can pull back to 1818 and create some form of resistance or something like that, I think there's a very good opportunity for gold to continue moving bearish. But we have a lot of room for gold sells here today. Yeah, that's cool. What we're kind of looking at here. But obviously, if we come back above 1818, then it becomes a little bit difficult. You know, yeah, it becomes quite tough at that point. So GJ is just ranging, man. You know, GJ is literally just ranging. If we take a look on the daily, obviously we discussed daily, but there's a lot of wicks here. You know, there's a lot of wicks. Rejected it on the 5th, rejected the 8th, rejected the 9th, kind of still rejected on the 10th because we came all the way up. We got higher, but we pulled all the way back. The 11th we've also rejected, and now the 12th. So we're just kind of waiting to see if this Friday candle is going to have the volume to, you know, break above these highs and fill this wick and continue on. You know, as we look on the 4 hour, we can see obviously, yeah, we are respecting this 144.600 level on the 4 hour time frame. But then why take a trade in this range when there's so many wick rejections? You know, we see these rejections here in the NY session yesterday. You know, this is just mess. So this is definitely a no trade range. When 4 hours not trending, you know, that's when you shouldn't also be, you know, trying to anticipate moves on a Friday, man. You know, 1 hour is also ranging. Look how messy the 1 hour time frame is. So we're just gonna have to kind of wait over here for like a good confirmation. Euro JPY. So starting off with the weekly. I mean, weekly's moving bullish. It's breaking above the high of the previous weekly candle. If it can continue moving up, then I think we can continue up to fill this wick over here at 127.500. Looking on the daily, yeah, since we're breaking above this minor resistance over here, I think the next target is going to be 127.350, 340. This area right over here, based on the daily. Looking at the 4 hour, seems like a break and retest right now because we had resistance, and then it seems as though this 4 hour is doing a retest, because if we look at it like this way, we have resistance, we've broken above resistance, we're doing some form of retest, and then if we can continue up, then we have a clean range at that point to 127.400, just kind of like a 28 pip range, 1 hour time frame. But looking on the 1 hour, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because we have resistance over here. We closed back in the range, so we need the 1 hour to break above this resistance here to continue moving up. Yeah, and then it seems like we had some issues at the 127.250 level. 30 minute, yeah, very messy on EJ. Very messy price action on EJ. So yeah, you probably want this 30-minute candle to close above, and then it would make sense to look for buys at that point. We need this candle to close above. Euro NZD. Let's look at Euro NZD. Start off with the daily. So looking on the daily, yeah, kind of makes sense. We did create a resistance, but it was a very weak resistance. So we're now coming up to break the high. And I mean, if we come right back up in this range, then we have a range to fill. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, looking on the 4 hour, we created bullish market structure above this previous resistance. So we made a resistance over here. We've made support now. And now we're trying to break above. So it did make sense for EN to continue moving bullish. It's trying to break above this area over here. So then the next stop for EN is going to be this 4 hour zone at 1.68600, which is another 20 pips away. So as we look on our smaller time frames, like the 1 hour, we broke out of this range. And as we look on the 1 hour, this is where we see our areas of issue. So we're at a resistance right now, but if we break above this area, then I mean, yeah, we have another range at that point. Yeah, kind of like up over here. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah, pretty much that's what we're looking at here. So EN, we have another range over here for like 25 pips, which could make sense, but we need like a support or something to form, because you know price has already moved up so much. And it was a little bit of like an impulsive move there, but there we go. I think yeah, buys would have been way too early for, you know, like anticipation. There was an entry for impulse, obviously at 8:30 a.m., but very difficult situation. But it is running smooth, so we'll see. And then finally GU's moving bearish. What's going on? GJ's, yeah, there you go. So GU, I mean, if it's pulling back, and if it wants to continue down, maybe it wants to do a retest of this this area here on the daily. Take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hours created some structure to correct, potentially correct this move. So once we break below, sorry, this 4 hour support, we have a clean range for like 40 pips. So I think that's going to be a good kind of idea there. Looking on the 1 hour, so we have kind of a zone here to the left that we're approaching. We have a range here basically, and then once we break the support, we can continue down to this next area over here. So we can see we have a clean range over here. It's like 16, 17 pips, but then probably better sells are going to be below this area, because then you have a nice 30 pip range. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, yeah, it's kind of like the same. If you want to be a bit conservative, then probably going to be this area right over here. But yeah, we can kind of neaten up our zones over here based on the 30-minute now, because we can see how we reacted basically to this support. This is our range. So now since we're breaking below the lows, this is going to be the next. This is going to be the destination for GU, and then this is the next destination. But buys, I mean, you can't really take buys at this point because candles are bearish. Plus, I mean, you could only really take buys above this area, but it becomes very messy. So yeah, we've got like 10 minutes left. Let's take a look on the 15 minutes. Yeah, candles just moving bearish. Good opportunity like 8 a.m., 8:15. But yeah, GU should continue moving down. Let's take a look at GJ. GJ is also rejecting, just ranging at this point. Yeah, man, this is what I was worried about, you know. So I didn't want to take buys in this range, because even if you did take buys, you know, you're risking the fact that you're anticipating the fact that we will reach the top of this range. And I think it was just pretty lucky that we did, because this kind of ranging can just happen here, you know. So I don't really like it. But sells on GJ are going to be below 144.580. You know, despite this little move down, this was a fake out. This got corrected. So I mean, you just anticipate this is like a minor area to break if we have volume. So we're just kind of waiting. I mean, we can still head down, right? Because we also have created resistance here. You know, we create resistance here. We create structure. So there isn't necessarily just a bullish bias. There is based on the daily, but on the smaller time frames, I mean, there's no bias right now, but we're open to both sets. But yeah, let's take a look on the 15-minute. Yeah, even so, I mean, there was an opportunity at 8 a.m. I can see that the 15-minute candle closing above this area, but it would have been a very impulsive move. Plus, the candle had barely a wick. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that, to be completely honest. I think that's pretty risky. You know, we had a lot of mess to the left. Literally, people who took buys in this area, because I can see on Instagram a few people did. You know, they really had to just anticipate that we'd hit the top of this range, but there was nothing to say that we would. I know the 4-hour candle closed bullish, but I mean, we've seen GJ can do some crazy shit. I mean, look what it's doing now. It's pulling back, so they got pretty lucky there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really an advocate for taking a range trade on a Friday, to be completely honest with you guys. You know, this is the house of discipline. Man, do that 100 times and come back to me. You know. What about GU? We just broke down GU. We've broken down all the pairs here. So we're just kind of waiting. Well, I'm kind of waiting. Yeah, man. It respected the daily high and break the daily low. It should go bearish. Yeah, it could do. Could go bearish. Is it going to be another ranging day today, though? That is the question. This week is trash. Yeah, I mean, the volume's picked up a bit, which is good. No guest today. No, didn't get anybody on today. Look at the 1 hour man rejecting this area. 4 hour also rejecting this area. Yeah. Ooh, looks like gold's pulling back, which is good, because then if gold can create a resistance right over here, then there's an opportunity for gold to continue moving bearish. But we need a resistance to form. Yeah, I need a resistance. Man, I need to change this fucking song. Oh, let's check out this chart over here. I didn't even see that. I keep looking at the Streamlabs chat. I need to look at the one from the internet. Right, let's check out this chart. Sorry. My apologies. Okay. Okay, this is Euro USD. Euro USD 1 hour time frame. So price broke below support. Okay, looking for retest, potential sells. Yeah, so a retest on the 1 hour time frame is more than likely gonna be like a minor resistance on the smaller time frames. So for example, what you might find is, let's just say I'm drawing it over here, so you might get, you know, small bearish candles coming down, and then what you may find is the retest is going to be when we get like a bullish candle that comes right back to this area, and now you're looking for, okay, can we start to create a resistance over here? Can we start to see candles closing bearish below that zone? And then this candle here, which creates the resistance, will be the retest, which will be this next 1 hour candle pulling up to head further down. So that's what you kind of want to wait for, to give you the best opportunity. You know, sometimes it's not going to happen like that, but other times it is. So we're just kind of waiting over here. See if we can get price to close above 144.860 today or not. Kim K low. I need to focus more on the internet version. You can actually see who send charts this way, so I do apologize there. That's so funny because I can see this one. So this chart came up on the YouTube chat, but the other one didn't. Interesting. Kind of like a bug or something, I don't know. Right, let's check this one out. Ooh. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. There we go, Control V. Okay, this is Australian dollar, US dollar. 15-minute time frame. Okay, so you have clean traffic and support. So once 15-minute candle closed below the support, and the next 15-minute candle break the previous candle to enter impulse entry, close full position at 10 pips. Yeah, nice. I mean, you know, obviously it's a good trade and everything. I'm not going to criticize the trade, but for constructive criticism, let's have a little bit more labeling of the chart. You know, let's maybe see how you could have entered in, you know, beforehand, looking at the higher time frames. You know, all that sort of thing is going to always help, you know, help you improve. You know, where did you place stops? Was it above the 15-minute? Was it above the 30-minute? You know, you have to look at that as well. That's really important to look at that. So just a bit of constructive criticism, maybe just a little bit more labeling, maybe even number. That's what I always say to people, you know, number them. So you can say 1, we had support over here. 2, we had candles closing at support. 3, we had a candle closing below. 4, tick sales over here, stop loss over there. 5, secure positions right down over there. Something like that. Just allows you to, you know, remember your thought process a lot more. Remember, because as you come back to look at trades, you know, because what I do is I have end of the month review, end of the week review, and when I look back at trades, I want to understand my reasoning for why I took that trade. Because if I see something that I could have taken or something I missed, I want to know what was going through my head at the time. But yeah, good trade. Well done. So gold, we're just trying to wait. Just that 1 hour candle is a pretty weak 1 hour candle, but EJ is trying to break up over there. Euro NZD still at that resistance. GU also trying to retrace, maybe to create some resistance to continue moving down. GJ trying to move up, so maybe this is a pullback, and then if we can start to break up, that'll be pretty good. If we can get a 30-minute also closing at resistance, I mean, obviously, you know, impulse entries, okay, but sometimes when you take it, what I've realized about my impulse entries is if I'm taking an impulse, I need to have the stop in a conservative manner. So therefore, you know, stops would have to be below, you know, like a stronger confirmation candle, like the 1 hour or the 30-minute. So probably gonna reduce risk here today. Might even just trade like a one lot position. It is a Friday, but we'll see. We'll see. Each situation is different. No worries, no worries, man. I'm dying for a cup of tea. Oh, looks like GJ is breaking up over here. We've got 21 minutes left, so definitely gonna want to wait for the 30-minute candle to close, because look at the way this 1 hour candle rejected this area. So I was reading yesterday, so apparently now, so you know, with the vaccine, right? So with the vaccine, obviously they were saying to everyone, you know, you need 2 jabs for it to be effective, and that's fine. But now they're coming out with that because of the new strains, that people are gonna need a 3rd jab. So, AKA, they're gearing us all up to say, I'm sorry, we're locking down again until everyone's had their 3rd jabs. I can hear it now. You've heard it here first. For us in the UK, we ain't getting nowhere this summer. But yeah, so obviously, if I do get away this summer, obviously that's gonna mean, you know, no streams, no live streams for however long I'm away. But as the private members know, I love to take my laptop everywhere I go. So yeah, people in the Zoom, you'll be fine. We'll be doing live trading as normal from the Zoom every morning. Even though I'm on holiday, I don't really care. You know, I still gotta do what I gotta do. I don't know what it is with me, but you know, most people when they go away, they take a break from trading. But I I can't, man. You know, the passion is just there. You know. Trading on the airplane, no, I'm joking, I can't trade on the airplane, but yeah, no, so live trading will resume as normal. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna get away this year. So looks like we're breaking up over here on GJ. We're breaking the highs on the rejection candle. But gonna need to wait, because once we actually break above 144.860, right? Once we actually break and close above, because we've been rejecting this area for a long time, right? Think about it. When we actually break above, we should see some nice volume, right? Because we rejected in the London session, we rejected heavy, we rejected in the NY session. I mean, 1, 2, 3 30-minute candles tried to close above, and every single one of them couldn't. I mean, look at these candles, just all closing bullish but failing to close above this area. So if we can get one candle closing above this zone, then we're heading up to 145 without a doubt. And then your runners at that point should run really well if we can continue. That should be really nice. That should be a really nice move. So that's what we're kind of waiting for here. You know, as well, like, yeah, that's just why I'm just not interested in this range. You know, this range is just a dirty range. But it looks like we're breaking up. We're breaking above these wicks. But we've still got a long way to go. 15-minute candles coming to a close. Yeah, can't really take impulses here unless it was based on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, I don't know. Probably gonna wait, man, because of these rejections. Need to wait for a candle to close. We may pop up into the zone, right, which is fine, but as long as we can retrace, create support, anything like that, there's always a probability, you know. And with this strong 15-minute candle, I know some people are going to say, oh, the 15 minutes closed above, but the reason why I want to wait for the 30-minute is because, you know, the next 15-minute candle may, you know, drive up and then actually close bearish, you know, like above this area, and then, you know, we can look for buys at that point. But yeah, gotta wait because of these just those rejections. I mean, we rejected anywhere up to 144.900 was rejected yesterday, so got to wait for this candle to close. And part of waiting for the candle to close is, you know, actually exercising that patience. You know, it's a good conditioner. When you say you're going to wait for a candle to close, it creates a condition, and it's good. So yeah, if this 15-minute candle closes below, then, you know, we need to wait for the 30-minute candle. Seems like it is going to close below. And then I can go make a drink in a sec, because man is thirsty. So come on, guys, we've got 65 people in here. We've got 19 likes. Let's boost those likes. Let's get those likes up on the stream. So yeah, so I'm thinking, I was thinking last night what to do for a giveaway when we get to 2K subscribers on YouTube. I want to do a giveaway, but is it another magic keys? Something that's... We've done magic keys before. So 15-minute candle closed at resistance, not above. So I'm waiting for the 30 to close. But that means that I'm risking missing the move if we start breaking the highs and moving up. But if we don't miss it, then, you know, you're going to pat yourself on the back and you're going to say, well, I waited and it played out. So yeah, I'm thinking what to do for a giveaway. If anyone's got any suggestions. Not really looking to do like any freebies into the group or anything like that. More so like something that's going to benefit someone, you know, like maybe even you get a couple of Zoom sessions for free. I don't know, something something that's going to be good fun, something that's good giveaway.
Gonna say, if you still, you know, on soft FX you get like 2 activations. Maybe the other activation you could give to someone else that hasn't got it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, thanks for the subscription there. Yeah, that's a point. Could do that. Ooh, looks like we're breaking the highs on the 15-minute. We're moving up to 144.900, but I'm definitely gonna wait for this 30-minute candle to close. If I missed the move, I missed the move. Hey buddy, do you think Euro NZD will go higher? Yes. We did the analysis on Euro NZD at the start of the stream, but so basically right now, obviously it's broken out of that range. There's a resistance over here to the left. As you look left, there's a resistance, but then once you're breaking above this area, it's very messy. But in effect, there is another range here. It's like a 25 pip range. So what you may want to wait for, is because, you know, do you really want to be taking buys here when you could get caught in a pullback? What you want to wait for is wait for a support to form. If you get a bearish candle close over here and the next one maybe breaks the high, that could be an opportunity, but you want to maybe wait for a support to form above this area, and then, you know, you could anticipate that we're going to clean this range. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at with Euro NZD. But yeah, so GJ, we've got 12 minutes. Does seem like it's coming up to 144.900. It's breaking above, was broken above 144.905. Yeah, I've just got to wait for this candle to close. I just don't trust it. I just don't trust it. You know, the thing is the thing that I found is too many times have I been like, okay, now we're breaking highs, you know, we're going to continue up, and I always get caught. And the reason why is because you forget, you know, when there's a rejection in an area, right, the only confirmation you're going to have is when a candle closes above. Whether you miss the move and the candle closes all the way up over here, or it closes down over here, that's the only confirmation that this is no longer a rejection zone. It doesn't matter if candles are breaking highs, because look, these ones are making higher highs, it's still rejected, still closed below. So that's why it's really important to wait for it close. But obviously with experience and stuff, it's fine. You know, sometimes you're gonna know you're gonna miss the move. So what happens when you miss the move and this candle moves up? At that point, you need to say, okay, I've missed the breakout, now I must wait for a support. Now I must wait for something else that's going to give me confirmation. So if price does move up, the only other confirmation we're going to have is a support forming. Let price make a high, let it retrace, because when price makes a high, it's going to retrace and it's going to want to continue if there's the volume. You also have the fact, if we make a high, form support, and we can't retest the high, are we going to correct it? Are we going to correct that move? So there's always options. So, you know, just be patient. You know, I know some people here are going to be start looking to take buys because we're above this area. But honestly, you'll thank yourself. Yeah, like, yes, you may miss it. Yes, you may say, oh, I could have taken the buys and HFX said, you know, not to take them. But if it doesn't work out and this comes right back in the range, you're going to be happy with yourself that you waited. You know, so, yeah, I don't know. But this is a bit of a... This is a situation where it may just continue. It may just continue. And if it does, it is what it is. But yeah, since we're breaking above these wicks, I think there's a possibility, but there you go. Thanks, buddy. I'm already in from 1.6810, but wanted to know if I should hold it. Let's take a look where you are in 1.6810. 1.68100. Man, if you're in buys from 1.68100, I mean, we're at resistance. I would be securing some profits, you know, and then leave a runner to run to your next target. Because if you leave your full position to run and it doesn't reach this area and it pulls back, you're going to be disappointed that you didn't secure positions. So you're up a good amount. I would 100% be securing some profits, you know, maybe like 50%, 60%, whatever you want to do, and then you leave another position to run. But that's up to you. Just my advice. Just my advice. But GJ looks like it wants to pump off over here. Plus it's Friday, I'm just watching close 80%. Oh, you had a BE trade? You had a BE trade, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I think we've missed this over here. This is a pump up. That's okay. That's fine. And the reason why it's fine is because we can still wait for support. There's plenty of options. You know, price is going to create a high. Maybe it's going to retrace back to this area to form some support to continue moving up. Especially, you know, you have to understand as well how, you know, this is all institutional trading. And, you know, you have to think about when price is breaking above, usually 80% of the time there's some form of pullback. You know, so just remember that. It's always some form of pullback. So yeah, so be patient. But if you miss the move, you miss the move. It's a Friday. It really does not matter. There's going to be plenty of moves next week. There'll be plenty of moves the week after. And with that kind of attitude, you're not going to worry about, you know, missing a move on a Friday. Sorry, I was also answering the other guy's questions about if he should close. Yeah, I think he should secure some profits myself, but it's up to him. It's completely up to him. You know, and that's the good thing about trading, because there's no right or wrong answer. You know, it's not 100% the right thing to do to close full positions, and it's not the wrong thing to do. It is all up to the individual. If you're comfortable with holding a trade, you know, for like a 50 pip trade, then man, that's awesome. But if you're not, that's also great. You know, because you understand your own capabilities, you understand your own comfortability as well. You know, like I know beforehand I wasn't comfortable leaving trades running. That's why I always secured profits. But now, after, you know, reviewing and looking at different things, I understand that I need to work towards being more comfortable. You know, so that's something you have to think about. Plus, you got to remember, if you're not trading, you're not losing. That's it. And the other thing you have to remember is, when you're in profits, right? When you're in profits, you had money on the table. So if it goes into drawdown, if it pulls back, then you have to accept that you had profits and you allowed that trade to go into minus, or you allowed that trade to retrace. So even if, you know, for say me, even if I now, you know, from next week, I know that I'm going to be doing things slightly different, I also know that I know the art and I understand the art of securing positions. You know, so remember that. Remember that. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. I'm going to quickly run and make a drink because I am absolutely dying. If it runs up, it runs up. I know I'm going to miss it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to wait. You know, we got all this area to the left, right? We could pull back, we could create support, you could buy in on the retest, whatever. It doesn't really fucking matter. It's completely up to you. You know, if the next 30-minute wicks down, then we could take buys because we still closed above. There's still plenty of options. We can wait for support. You know, there's so many ways of anticipating this. But if I'm getting in a trade today, it's probably going to be like a 1-lot position, maybe a 2-lot. We'll see. Something really small. It's a Friday. I only want to take a trade based on the fact the weekly should continue moving higher. The daily also should continue moving higher. So I want proper confirmations for that. You know, if this 30-minute closes back in the range, that would be just disgusting price action, and we're probably gonna have 0 trade today. So yeah, I've got to be quick. We've got 5 minutes for this candle to close, so bear with me. I'll be back. Oh, GJ, what's going on? See, what did I say? It's gonna be so important to wait for the candle to close. Okay, so if this candle does close above, then I think we're gonna be good. Okay. Yeah, so I got in buys over here with a smaller lot position. Right over here. Stop's pretty big, but basically I've used like a one lot position, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm basically just gonna try and let the rest. I'm just gonna try and let it run basically. So Friday, see if I can let it run. See if I can just let the position run. But yeah, since the 30-minute candle is closed above this resistance now, we waited for price to close above this area, and since price is closing above, I think it should continue moving up. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, yeah, I think 4-hour also, as we're coming into the last 30 minutes of the 4-hour, as long as we can obviously stay above 144.860, then it completely makes sense for GJ to continue moving up. 1-hour time frame obviously needs to also close above, but because the 30-minute had a strong candle close above that area, it does make sense for the 1-hour to also stay above, and then the 30-minute should continue moving up, fill this wick, and then continue moving on. But obviously if we fake out here, then it just becomes very difficult, you know. But even if it breaks a 15-minute low, we're not managing risk, you know. We're anticipating that candles should stay above 144.850. Hey man, there is a wind on your mic. Oh, sorry. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. So yeah, just anticipating GJ to continue this move up. And then I'm going to try and, once we hit like 145, try and put stops to break even and just let it run. Does that sound better with the mic now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, looks like we've got in our buys over here. Got in our buys above 144.860, something I've been waiting for since yesterday. Let's look at GU. GU done a fake out. Euro NZD. Euro NZD is trying to move up over here. EJ. We've got 26 minutes for this candle, so it doesn't really matter if it wicks down. If we sit in a little bit of drawdown, it's perfectly fine, because the way we would manage this trade is if the 30-minute closes back in the range, then there's no buys, right? It doesn't make sense to hold buys at that point, so we're just gonna have to wait. Yeah, so I think targets. Let's think targets. Let's talk targets. So the next target is going to be 145.470, and if we get there, how much pips are we talking? That's like a 60 pip move, so we're expecting a potential 60 pip move. But in fact, let's do better. Let's look left on the 30-minute, because I want to make sure we've got, oh no, it never does that, does it? It does. Okay, let's try. Okay, beautiful. 1 hour time frame. Yeah, maybe even like 145.300 because of this wick. Let's see if it will let me do it on the 30-minute. Hopefully it will, because it didn't let me do it the other day for some reason. It just kind of said that there was no data for it. Yeah, it always does that. Why? It's doing it right now. Okay, let's go from a 1 hour perspective then. So from a 1 hour perspective, yeah, it's probably going to be this. I mean, we have a wick around 145, 100, but I think this area here should be where we come up to, which is around. I'm going to go with 145, 350 as a target. That's what I'm going to go with based on the 1 hour time frame. What do you say? 145, 350. So where's that? That's right over here. So I think we can remove this one. Bring this down. That's going to be the target. Yeah, fuck it. We'll leave that there, but that's going to be the target. 145, 350 is the target here today. So we'll put target. It's like a 50 pip move. But obviously, if we just start to range over here, I'll just secure what I can. But it's a Friday. If I'm not mistaken, you only get 5,000 counters free and 10,000 paid version on TradeView. I have the paid trading view, so I should get that.
Yeah, well, on the 1 hour for me, I can't even scroll back that far to where you
really?
just scroll back. Yeah, it's like start of Jan last year, I think.
Shit, man.
Sure. Might have to get the paid version.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So yeah, I've got my TP set. Let's go, GJ. Yeah, hopefully we can see some nice volume here today. Smash through this area, this 145 area, and then boom, we should be off. 145, 300. Man, because think about it, this 4 hour candle, we're in the last half an hour of this 4 hour candle. So this is a very important situation. But pay still has a limit. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, is what it is. Yeah, usually it lets me scroll left, but it just, yeah, it kept bugging out the other day, and I just was like, a bit confused why. But yeah, where's all this volume gone, man? We had this big bullish candle, it looked like it was gonna smash through, and now this candle just diddly squat. Yeah, we need this 30 minute to push up really, but if it closes bearish, as long as it stays above as long as we stay above 144.860, we should continue moving up, despite whether candle is closing bearish, bullish, doesn't matter. As long as we stay above that area, we will continue moving up for the day, and then MY should take us further on, and then we should see a nice move today, I'm thinking. Hopefully. But I've used like a less risk. Stops were bigger, but I've used less risk anyway. And my idea is, you know, obviously I've been waiting for these buys since yesterday. So this is something I've planned for. This is something that I've waited for. Been very patient for. You know, we spoke about waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. Wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Got 95 people here. Awesome. Let's get some more likes in here. We've got 95 people. Drop a like on the stream. Can I ask why you're looking for buys above 144.860? The range doesn't look clean. The range isn't clean, but we're expecting volume to fill this range. And if we look on the higher time frames, right, this 4 hour was in a range. This 4 hour was in a range, and we needed this 4 hour candle to break above this area in order for price to continue moving bullish. I mean, think about it. We was in a range. If you take a look at the higher time frames like the daily, this daily candle, in order for it to continue pumping up and, you know, fill these wicks and then continue on based on the weekly, it needed to break out of that 4 hour range. And the other reason why I wanted to take buys above this area was because, okay, so as you look at the price action, I know this isn't a good range, but think about the actual information that we have. So if you remember yesterday's London session, we rejected this resistance. Right? We had a previous support over here. So let's think about that first. So we had previous support, candles came down, we came back, we formed resistance. Perfect. But either way, this is a rejection. We rejected to close back above. Then we came back to this area in MY, tried to close above, failed to break above. We had like 4 or 5 30-minute candles that couldn't break above this area. So now this becomes a strong level. Now we can't break down either. We can't break down because we were just ranging the whole day. We took a move down in the Asian session. And we came back and closed back in the range. Right? We came back and closed back in the range. So now, you know, in London session, everybody was getting gas trying to take buys within this range. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for what I said yesterday, which is where the best possible opportunity to put myself in is going to be, because of the information that we have. We have projections. So if we now close in above, which we are based on this 30-minute candle, then as long as price can stay above 144.860, we should continue moving bullish now, because we have bullish volume. We broke above, right? So that's what should happen. We always say should, because we never know 100%, you know, because if this candle comes down, closes back in the range, it becomes very difficult. It becomes super difficult to hold these buys. You know, this move up would be a fake out, and there's nothing we can do about fake out. We can't take buys over here, because then, you know, the stop's going to be way too big. You know, but right now we're just gonna have to let this 30-minute do its thing, and if it pumps back in the range, it is what it is. But the 4 hours coming to a close soon, so if we're gonna see a push up, it should be in this 30-minute candle. But you see, if this 30-minute candle closes back in the range, then the 4 hour would still be in that range. So yeah, very just a tough situation there, you know. And then I wait for the buys, that if they don't play out, they don't play out. But I planned. At the end of the day, right, if you have a plan and you stick to that plan and you take the trade based off that plan, for me, that's a win. Even if you lose, it doesn't matter, because you're going to learn something and you're going to look at, okay, how could you have done better in your planning? You know, we got 17 minutes here. This 1 hour candle needs to stay above. The 4 hour candle needs to stay above. You know, we have set the conditions. We know how we can manage risk, because if we close back in the range, then we just close the trade. You know, because it doesn't make sense to hold it at that point. But right now it makes sense to hold it, because we closed above, we got a retest, and now we're just waiting. Brought you some people today at Asian stream. I advertised for you. I appreciate that. Thank you, A-Rod. Very kind. So are you Asian streaming now, or is someone who's doing the Asian session stream then? I know Paul's not been doing it for a while.
I think Mac is.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. At least he's one of them.
Yeah, I don't really know anybody else that does Asian session. Looks like gold never created that strong resistance. EJ. Yeah, it came up to that area that we anticipated, but difficult situation. EN still trying to move up. GU. It's kind of like pulling back. Right, one sec, I just got a call coming in. Let me just mute myself for a sec. Okay. Closing below 850. Yeah, on the 15-minute, but I want to wait for the 30-minute candle to close, because also the 30-minute candle close is the close of the 1 hour, it's the close of the 4 hours. So this 15-minute candle is the most important part, you know, this next one. Because although the 15-minute closed back in the range, and we know the 15-minute means, yeah, it's too messy of a time frame to, you know, this candle could easily just come back up, break this high, and boom, we're off. So I'm basing this trade off the 30-minute. I want to see this 30-minute candle respect this area for me to hold these buys. That's what I want to see. You know, I'm not interested in the 15-minute. This is one of the you know, this is one of the things that had been holding me back. Was too focused on the smaller time frames, 5-minute, 15-minute. You know, they're good for entries. Where I've got good is getting entries off the smaller time frames. But I need to base the analysis off the higher time frames, because that's what we're trying to anticipate, the higher time frames to go in our direction. So obviously if this 30-minute closes back in the range, then we just close the trade. May I send a chart to show you what I think may happen? Of course, of course. We encourage that. We encourage that. Yeah, I encourage people to send charts. You don't even need to ask. Don't worry. But I appreciate that. Yeah, anybody can send a chart. It's perfectly fine with me. This is what we're here for, guys. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we've got 98 people here. You know, this is an opportunity to have another opinion on your ideas, on your trade ideas, and that's how you learn. You know, that is how you learn. Got nearly 100 people here today. Awesome. It's doing a retest on the 5-minute. Let's see, mate. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if this 30-minute starts coming up to fill this wick, we're gonna be off at that point. Okay, let's take a look. So it's breaking the high on the 15-minute, which is exactly what I just spoke about. 5-minute, yeah, creating structure. So I mean, just gotta let it do its thing. We're gonna wait anyway, because you know this is the 4-hour close, and if the 4-hour can't stay above 144.860, then you know we're not gonna hold this trade. This is just, yeah, no point. But if it can stay above, perfect. If it can't, still perfect. So what's everybody doing this weekend? Anything good? Anything exciting? We're moving up over here on GJ. Can we get a last 10-minute push on the 4-hour? That would be beautiful.
Are you going to try and hold this, are you?
Yeah, yeah. It's a Friday. You know, I'm pretty much break even for the week. So basically, what my idea was today was, you know, I knew that okay, once we break above 144.860, there's a very good chance that Friday's candle is gonna do what Thursday couldn't do, Wednesday couldn't really do. So that's what I'm anticipating here. So just gonna hold the trade, and plus, if I can hold the trade on a Friday and just kind of like you know, just before the weekend, also get used to actually holding a position, not focused on, you know, certain little things, you know, just reasserting that. So yeah, just gonna see where it goes. I mean, part of me wants to secure something at 145, but if I start to see rejection, then I'll just close 50%, bag some profs, and then let the rest run to the target that we spoke about from the higher time frames. But obviously, you know, Friday may not get up there. We're just kind of anticipating volume, because now we are closing above. But there's no guarantee that's even going to happen. You know, 10 minutes, a lot can happen. We can even come back in the range. So yeah, just see what happens really. Because if I'm anticipating this 30-minute to continue up, I mean, where I've seen it happen, it may actually close above this 145 level, which would then be like, okay, well, do you know what, just hold that at that point. But I just want this candle to stay above, and then should be good. Because as we do look on the 15 minute, we're breaking the high, but you know, we want to make sure that this candle stays bullish, you know. Little bottom wick on the next 5 minute maybe. But yeah, see, that's what I want to stay away from, you know, focusing on the noise time frames, as I call them. We've got 9 minutes left. But yeah, like I said, if we close back in the range, then we just close the trade at that point. And that's that. But yeah, man, we waited since yesterday for these buys. We waited yesterday. We had all yesterday, and we was expecting it to continue moving up, and now it looks like it's coming back in the range. Yeah, you see, the other thing as well was I was looking for, okay, well, we've noticed that when there's a lot of volume in the market, there's a big push with the last 4 hour, 15 minute, 30 minute candles. That's also what I was kind of like anticipating here. But like I say, if we can't stay above that area, then it just, that's it. I'm done for the week. And that's that. Hopefully this last 5 minutes we'll see something here. Maybe it's like, look, I don't know. Just gonna let it do its thing. There is a chart. There is my chart with the reason I don't like the buys. Okay. I don't actually see your chart. Yeah, it's not come up. You're gonna have to send just the code and put it in with like a sentence or something. Because right now I can't see it. But yeah, if you don't like the buys, that's sticking to your plan, and that's great. That's what we're here to encourage. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm in buys. Like that's the key. It doesn't matter if I'm in buys. This is my plan. You know, if you don't want to take buys, that's great. It means you can be, you know, self-sufficient, and you don't have to you know, look at somebody else, what they're doing. You know, you're just focusing on you. So that's great. So come on, 30 minute. What are we gonna do here now? What you gonna do in the last 5 minutes? What you gonna do? So yeah, send the chart whenever you're ready. You know how to do it. You go to the little camera. You want to scroll along. You want to get the little X code. You want to copy this part, and then you want to send that in the chat with maybe a little bit of other writing with it, like a sentence, and then should be good. Gold will break 1800. I haven't looked at gold. Oh, looks like we are maybe gonna create resistance over here on the 30-minute time frame, something that I spoke about if you paid attention at the start of the stream. Because of this 1 hour candle, I was expecting maybe the next 1 hour candle would break the high, and then as it starts to flip, that could be a 30-minute candle closing bearish, and then could continue down. So yeah, if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, I think gold should continue moving down as well. So yeah, last 5 minutes here. This is really going to determine whether we're coming back in the range or we are going to close above to continue moving up. But yeah, if the buys don't play out, it is what it is. Then this level is stronger than we thought. And actually then 145 as a whole kind of zone is, yeah, very, very tough area. Seems like we're not going to close above. But obviously I've got to give it its time to do whatever. I've sent the chart just like that. Yeah, it's not coming up. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite coming up. I don't really know what to suggest, because this happens to a few people and sometimes it doesn't. Three minutes left. Does seem like we're not going to close above this area. Yeah, we broke the high on the 15 minute. We're now coming back in the range. 5 minute coming back in the range. Yeah, delicate situation, as Mr. Rajabanks would say. I'm not sure why either. May I can DM it to you? You can DM it to me, but I can't pull it up on the screen. So, I mean, yeah, I can. What's the word? I can talk you through it. I can talk you through it. Like, if you want to send it to me on Instagram, like I can say to you, oh yeah, this is what I would do. But obviously you can't visually see it. That's up to you. But maybe just keep trying until it eventually comes through on the YouTube chat. Are you closing GJ? When this candle closes, because it's the close of the 4 hour. So I want this 4 hour candle to close above 144.850, something like that. If it can't, then yeah, I'm closing out. We've got 2 minutes. A lot can happen in 2 minutes, trust me. Trust me on that, especially in a 4 hour candle. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking good, is it? It's not looking like we're gonna have it looks like we're gonna have a lose here today. But I used a lot less risk, so this is like a minimal loss for a trade that we waited since yesterday to take. So yeah, it does seem like we're coming down over here. When have you started taking trades on Friday? The reason why I've taken a trade today is purely based on the fact that my analysis was that I wanted to take buys above 144.860, and I waited since yesterday to catch those buys. I even looked in the MY session to catch them, but I didn't get what I wanted to see. So I've waited today, and it's just not playing out. I thought maybe because we've seen a good bit of volume on Fridays that, it's going to do that. So I think since we have like a minute left over here, it seems like we are coming back in the range. I think we're going to close in here in a sec. We've got like 30 seconds. Yeah, it does seem like we are... Yeah, it's a tough situation. Come on, GJ, what are you going to do? Can you close above in the last 15 seconds? Yeah, so it looks like we're going to close below this area. And if we do, I'm out. So there you go. We're out. Taking a loss here today on a Friday. Ouch. Yeah, it is what it is. 1 hour candle closed below this area. 4 hour candle also closed in the range. So there's no buys. And that's it. We're done for the day. Done for the week. I've DM'd you. Okay, let's take a look. Let me take a look. Bear with me. It was like a really small loss as well, actually. It's like a £60 loss, so it's not even really. Should have waited for confirmation candle before buy. Well, I did. That's exactly what I did. Manoj Pandi. That's exactly what I did. I waited for a close above 144.860. So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Like, yeah, we could have waited for support, but it is what it is. That's how the game goes, you know. I would take this trade every time. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, so what's he saying? This candle throws a spanner in the works for buys. Oh, sorry. Bear candle throwing a spanner in the works for buys. Oh, what, the 15-minute candle? Yeah. I mean, I don't think so personally, but I mean, if that's what throws you off, that's what throws you off. You know, the only thing for me is in terms of structure, this was a pullback. You know, that just happened. This is a pullback candle. We see this a lot. This was your volume candle. We came up, we broke above the area, we waited for the candle to close. We didn't get no FOMO. We didn't, you know, we waited for this candle to respect this area, hold it. It didn't work out. But yeah, I see what you're trying to say. I mean, I personally think that if you was to look at this trade setup, you know, let's say 50 times or whatever, that you'll find that this sort of candle doesn't really mean anything. The only thing that this candle was a pullback, was a 1 hour, right? This 1 hour pullback was how this created. But I mean, the 1 hour candle still closed bullish, but it just closed below this area, which is where we wanted to take buys above, because it's the safest place to take buys above. The 30-minute confirmation candle just closed in another range. Typically, you think volume would push straight through, but GJ's volume has been sketchy the last week or two. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We was anticipating this next 30-minute to continue the move up. This candle had volume. It closed above. There you go. No, there's no other explanation for it. We had the confirmations. You know, there hasn't been that many confirmations on GJ this week. So the trade I waited for since yesterday, so yeah. Gold 30-minute close like a weak bearish. Yeah, I don't think gold sells right now. Yeah, not right now. Looks like Euro NZD is trying to continue moving up. So yeah, there you go. We had our one trade today. I used like a less risk at it, so I basically got out with like minus like 50, minus 60. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even retest 145, so that just goes to prove that there's a lack of volume then. Otherwise, we should have 100% at least got back to 145. 4-hour close back in the range. Yeah. This is a strong area. And in fact, this fake out makes MY going to be so tough, because where are you going to look for buys now? You know, you'd have to look for buys above this resistance, but then now your range becomes even smaller. Like 14 pips. GJ is pissing me off. Yeah, it's pissing me off too. I think next week should be a good week. I think next week we're going to see some nice volume. Then we're going to have a really good week next week. But yeah, we had over 100 people here. And then once again, people leave when there's no trade. But yeah. Yeah, what a disgusting day for GJ, really, if you think about it. You know, we rejected all of these areas yesterday, and then to say we had volume to break up, but then now we're faking out, like, that's just pathetic. Especially from the pound yen. But either way, it's been another character building week, as they say. So, yeah, I think next week's going to be much better. We'll have a good week next week. Trust me, people.
You know, if you look at it, Harrison, GJ's been acting like how EJ was back in December, you know, when it was in that massive range for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's been now.
Yeah. I mean, we're only in a small 4-hour range, you know, so to be fair, like, when we broke above, you know, the 4-hour, everything was bullish, everything was above that area, you know, there was a very high probability we would continue, but we just clearly don't have the volume. I mean, look at the daily, like, while we break the low, this is a liquidity grab to come up, you know, and actually break the high and not go anywhere. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, there you go. Still going strong without trades. Yeah. Yeah, trust me, next week's going to be good because Obviously next week I'll be fully introducing my my new way. But today, I just wanted to stick to my plan that I waited for yesterday. I got the confirmation, it just didn't happen. I threw less risk. It's Friday, so there you go. Like, it's not a big deal. But yeah, next week, I'm looking forward to next week, 100%. That's funny. Why is again, man? This Streamlabs is so slow. It doesn't pick up all the comments. Right, I'm gonna have to stick to the YouTube version for comments because it's just, yeah. So we had, if we close back into range, we're going back down. It was a fuck you candle. It looked like that was Asian orders that got filled before the close of Asian. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really look at it like that, but that could make sense. I just focus on where the candles are closing. Yeah, think about it, right? If we have volume to break a rejection zone, we should continue. It's a very small chance that we don't. So, still going strong without trades because I love the analysis. I like that. Thank you. Lost $40. Learn from the trade. GJ learns from this trade. Yeah, always something to learn. As long as you use less risk, it's a Friday, then it's all good, But this was my plan. I've been waiting for since yesterday for these buys. I know a lot of people took winning buys in this range, but it's just funny because the higher probability trade lost and the more risky trade won. But when it comes the other way around, they're gonna feel like fools. Oh, and another look at Euro NZD if possible. Okay, let's take a look. So I mean, right now this 30-minute candle is obviously bearish, but the previous one closed bullish. It closed above this area, so this current 30-minute candle should, and we always say should continue moving up. Or if it closes bearish, you just want to make sure this support is respected, basically, or even you want to see candles closing above this like minor resistance here, because then we could have a bullish candle close here and the next one continues up.
Alison,
yes,
are you having problem to see all the chats on YouTube?
No, so basically when I go onto Streamlabs, the actual stream software, it misses out the odd thing. It misses out the codes and stuff for charts. So now I'm just going on the internet version.
No, do you know what you need to do? If you go, you can see top chat and you can see live chat. So you just have to change it to live chat because then you can see all the messages.
Ah, yeah.
That's why, yeah.
There you go. I like that.
Because usually it might pick up some of the charts as a spam messages, so that's why he's only picking the top messages.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it worked a treat. Awesome. Cheers, Salim. Appreciate it.
No worries.
So yeah, I think we'll call it a day here soon. Anyway, we'll just see how this. I don't know. We'll just see if it ends up running up or not. And we just was unlucky. Man, if this moves up, that was just disgusting price action. I mean, yeah, I don't think if we stay below 144.860, then I mean MY is gonna have a really tough time. Honestly, NY will have a really tough time. Character building week. Oh, 100%. Very character building. Patience, bro. Thanks for your free knowledge. It's okay. That's okay. I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing the knowledge. I enjoy streaming. It benefits all of us. So. Thank you, you too. Yeah, have a great weekend. Yeah, I think Euro NZD should continue moving up, in all fairness. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. Yeah, if we start to break the highs on these 15-minute candles, I think Euro NZD is going to continue that move up. GU closing and back above support. So there we go. Something is being cooked in the kitchen. Is that a metaphor, or are you cooking something up? No, I can't smell it. Can't smell through the microphone. Think you might have been safe with original stop loss, but well managed anyway. Yeah, that's true. Like, you know, obviously it'd never come near to my stop. And if it does run up, I would have, you know, I could have held it and it could have went into profits. But in terms of a rule, I do believe that when a 30-minute candle does a fake out, you have a 70% chance that it's going to actually continue back in the range. That's what. Oh, he's talking about GJ. I was thinking, wait, what? He's cooking something in the kitchen? How could I smell it? Nah, but yeah. I don't know. I think if you're talking about that, I mean, you have a support over here. So, I mean, this could be the area we come back to. So if we create resistance, then you have a support over here that was created. This is like a 13-pip range. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, this is just coming back in the range at this point. So I personally think I'm glad I just got out, and you know, there's no confirmation now for buys. Look, if price was staying above 144.860, man, I would have held that shit all day. You know, I wasn't gonna manage the trade at that point, but you know, discussed if we do fake out, you know, we can't. There's one thing I've learned, you know, you can never anticipate a fake out. Never. Never. Because you only know price is faked out when the candle has printed, you know. And if you look at the 15-minute, we closed below on the 15, but then we saw how the next 15 minutes came up to break the high. And that was the point at which I was like, okay, you know, the 15-minute fakes out all the time. But the 30-minute requires, you know, a lack of volume for it to fake out. So there we go. So then I think we're gonna call it a day over here. So let's look at gold. Yeah, I think you're gonna need one more bearish candle to close for gold to continue down, because you don't want to risk this candle starting to flip bullish and then coming back above into this range, and then, you know, that becomes like a bad situation for gold sells at that point. Plus we're at like a 4-hour support level as well. Obviously GJ we've discussed. Euro JPY, I think if you're looking for any type of trade in Euro JPY, you're going to need to wait for support to form to retest this high. Euro NZD should continue moving bullish. We've got 10 minutes left on this 30-minute candle. So if this 15-minute candle can start to break these wicks, then yeah, this is going to be the next target on Euro NZD. But again, like it's like a difficult situation really, because you know, it can break the highs and then pull back and close bearish. But basically how this now works is, for anyone who's already in buys, if you were looking at, okay, well, what's going to be the condition to make sure that my runner will continue, when you see this happen, this is now a support formed. So if you see candles closing back below the support, I would then maybe just actually, you know what, close in profits, and then, you know, don't risk the fact that it may never reach this area. But if it stays above this support, then you may get a little bit of consolidation. Like you may get a little bit of consolidation in between this range, and then with more volume as we come in, you know, we can continue moving up. But there you go. I think it should continue though, based on the way that it's kind of forming. You know, you're gonna understand how candles form. So if this 30-minute breaks the high, then yeah, it's off. But yeah, look at this disgustingness on GJ. Just disgusting. So yes, who have we got in the Zoom? We've got Salim, Sergio, Kelsey. So yeah, so I might as well tell you guys, and then I'll put it in the Discord later. But there will be a simulation session tomorrow morning, and I'm thinking about doing like a refresher webinar. But the difference with this refresher webinar is we're going to be looking at how, obviously, I know you guys have your own ways and stuff, but from what I'm trying to achieve, just gonna give you guys a little bit more insight into the way that I want to go forward with it, and how I will now, you know, go about managing positions and things like that, so in a different kind of light. So the good thing about that is me and Kelsey were having this conversation yesterday, and we were saying, you know, in terms of the webinars that you guys have obviously on the course, obviously a lot of the risk management is about, you know, closing 50%, closing partials, etc., which is great, because for people who prefer to do that option's there. You also have the option of, okay, maybe you don't want to do that, you want to keep a risk reward setup going with a probabilities in your favor, and looking at the overall trend, letting trades play out, how to manage those type of trades. So it gives like you a bit of confluence. You know, because there's some days that you might be like, okay, I want to close 50% here because I'm not liking it. But then other days you're going to be like, well, you know what? My analysis says that price should go up to 146, whatever. So I'm going to hold to 146. That's where I'm going to secure profits. And I'll only manage the trade if we start to close back in the range. You know, like say today's example. So it gives you a bit of a different perspective. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow morning. So we'll do the refresher webinar first, and then we'll do a simulation session afterwards, if you guys are down, if you're around. Waiting for sales on Euro USD. Nice, Mr. Yes Man. GJ will explode today. Well, I don't know, man. Doesn't look like it to me. But hey, you may be right. Look at this, man. 30 minutes coming back to this area. If it closes below, then it may need to create like a resistance to continue moving down. But this is very messy price action. Open the 1 minute chart and see the moves. I don't look at the 1 minute, but I can see based on the 5 minute, yes, we still have bullish market structure. Yeah, I can see on the 5 minute the bullish market structure, but yeah. All right, we'll wait 5 more minutes, see how this 30-minute candle closes. Not for a trade perspective, but just to see if it did end up continuing in that direction. You can see it better on the 1 minute. That's why though. All right, I'll take a look on the 1 minute before we call it a day here. Yeah, I can see the moves on the 1 minute for sure. That's just kind of like crazy though. To me, it looks like the 1 minute is now making lower highs, lower lows. So, but it's also got this bullish market structure. Yeah, you can definitely see structure on the 1 minute, can't you? You can like identify, like, cause you kind of had, like, it's kind of funny. You had like a range here, right, on the 1 minute, and then you had a break, retest, up. Let's do it over here. And then for sells, you had like a range here, you had a break, retest, down. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I have no clue how to trade the 1 minute, so don't even ask me. I think A-Rod's good at trading the 1 minute. So if anyone needs any advice on the 1 minute, speak to A-Rod. He'll sort you out. So yeah, 2 minutes left, and looks like the 30 minute is closing bearish, back in the range. So still in the range, yeah. Just disgusting. I think this week could have been a really good week for me. You know, Monday, Tuesday would have been both wins with the way that I trade. Now, the way I'm moving forward. So, yeah, I think I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for next week. I want to, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know what I've got to do now. I know what is necessary to level up. You know, and in fact, I'm gonna do a webinar on the reasons why that I have decided to slightly switch it up, because it may actually benefit some others too, especially in the private group. You know, there's some of you in there that this may directly, you may look at your trading and be like, wow, that's actually a really good point. But we'll discuss that later tomorrow. Yeah, look at that. We should come right back to the support. What a disgusting day. So there we go. Okay, let's read out last couple comments. Then if anyone's got any last questions before we finish here now, and then we'll let you guys enjoy your weekend. I'm not going to take trade Fridays anymore. I'm taking Raja advice, Freaky Fridays. Yeah, I don't usually trade Fridays. I mean, most of the good moves that happen recently have been on Fridays. But the reason why I took the trade today was because of the lack of volume yesterday. So if there's a lack of volume on a Thursday, then maybe, you know, I was expecting, okay, so maybe the volume could be coming on Friday. And I didn't kind of come on the charts like, okay, I'm going to take a trade. I came on the chart saying, well, if we break above 144.860, I've been waiting for that since Thursday, so then I'll take a buy. If not really interested in sells, because, you know, we had this fake out. You know, you don't want to get caught out. So that was my one idea. And if and it didn't play out, you know, because when you're looking at the weekly, you're looking at the higher time frames, there was a lot of confluence for GJ to continue, and it just, on the higher time frames, we just didn't have the volume. I mean, what can I say? You know, that's just how the game goes. I got out with very small loss, and it just, yeah, it's minuscule. But I'm just excited to get started with next week. Really looking forward to it. So there we go. So thanks everyone for coming on. Drop a like on the stream if you've enjoyed the stream today. Well, anyway, just drop a like, because yeah. But yeah, awesome. So everyone, have a great weekend. Have a nice break. You know, obviously review the week. See how you could have done better. See how you could have taken the winning trades. You know, take a look at your losses, take a look at everything. You know, this is what the weekends are for. Markets close, so you have time to analyze and re-evaluate. So really, really important to use that time wisely. But yeah, like I say, drop a like on the stream. We'll be back Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. GMT, and it should be good. I'm expecting a really good week next week. So yeah, perfect. So Thanks everyone for coming on, and we'll see you Monday.